What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade, basketball analysis. Coming to y'all with that analysis. Y'all been waiting for this for a long time. It got delayed. Wasn't expecting Corona. Wasn't expecting delay after delay for this lottery. We finally got the lottery. I got y'all covered with the mock draft. I owe y'all this. Y'all been waiting for it, and it's here. We're gonna start 1 to 14, and this was tough. It took me a long time to figure this out. I've been thinking about it for years, but we didn't actually know what the order was going to be until Thursday. So this is going to come up early in the morning, but number one, Minnesota got the pick. Anthony Edwards. I know a lot of people say, why would they do that? They got Malik Beasley. I'd rather have Malik Beasley than Anthony Edwards just because he is a better shooter. He's explosive, and you can really build around him with Russell and Towns and the guys around here. He fits the perfect role. Edwards is an upside guy, though. He's younger, has great athleticism, could be a potential great defender, but they say that about everybody. It don't necessarily come true, especially in the NBA, as guys really don't care about defense as much, especially once they become great offensive players. But I think the best pick right here is Anthony Edwards. I wouldn't want anybody else but him at number one. I don't really see Minnesota possibly keeping this pick, but I can definitely still see Anthony Edwards being the number one pick regardless if somebody trade up or not. Golden State, this is obvious. James Wiseman, I'd rather them get somebody else. But when it comes to just fit, we all know that they missing that center. It's better centers than Wiseman, but he has that upside and he has the ability to possibly be a stretch guy and a defensive player coming in a winning culture that demands someone to be great. Plus, he doesn't have to develop offensively right away. Like we know, you got Steph Clay and all these guys. It makes sense on paper. It makes sense for fit. But I wouldn't be surprised if Golden State got bigger plans. But at worst case scenario, you get a center for your future that fits what you're trying to do. You're not going to complain. Charlotte goes with LaMelo. I had a lot of thought about this just because you got Terry Rozier, you got Devontae Graham. Do you really want to take the ball out your best player's hands offensively? And especially with LaMelo, not a great offensive player, not a great defender. I think his playmaking is overrated. But potentially might be the best player you can get at this point when it comes to upside. That's what I said the word potential. I'm not a LaMelo Ball guy, but I can see why people want him. And this might be the highest upside they can get at 3 when it comes to just being a potential star at that pick. I think LaMelo got a lot of work to do to become a special player in this league, but he is young. He has multiple years possibly to develop into that if they're patient with him. He's going to be a guy that you're going to get irritated with, you're going to be frustrated with, because I personally believe he doesn't play winning basketball, and he's not a great mid-range guy, not a great three-point shooter, and he can be a guy that can be stubborn. That could be tough to wrinkle out, especially for Charlotte. But when it comes to a guy that has star potential, all-star potential, for what people say, LaMelo Ball might be the best guy that they can pick. I think Obi goes to Chicago. I think he will be the best talent available. They need offense. Like, it's either Jim Bowling was just that bad offensively or they just don't have enough. Zach LaVine been fine when healthy when it comes to scoring the ball. Lauri Markkanen hasn't been healthy. Maybe you get an insurance policy for him. If he does go down, you got somebody that can come in and score, give you some spacing, give you some rebounding, and somebody that can play with Wendell Carter if you decide to go a little bigger. So I think OB is an underrated pick at 4 for Chicago. They need offense, they need that size, and they do need scoring. So Cleveland at number 5, I got Killian Hayes. This guy, some people have him low, some people high. Cleveland, I'm not a fan of the Darius Garland, Colin Sexton backcourt. I was hoping that they could get the number 1 pick so they could get Anthony Edwards, but that didn't happen. Killian Hayes is definitely the pick for them. A guy that has upside, left-hand shooter, can shoot the 3 a little bit, can get to the basket, has potential as a playmaker and passer, can play with Sexton because he can shoot the 3, he can drive a little bit. They might not be a great defensive backcourt, but they better than what you would have with Garland just because you have the size for that shooting guard position, scoring from that position, and upside at that position too. Plus, Garland is a guy that can handle the ball, create, and score. That's not that bad for a 6-man role as he continues to get comfortable and continue to get his feel back and his scoring back for the game. Garland can be a good backup point guard in the future. Plus, they need somebody that can score the ball and give him size. And Killian Hayes give him that at that shooting guard position. This might be a little controversial too. Atlanta got Tyrese. People think Atlanta going to trade up, but if Jeff Teague is gone, they need a backup point guard if they don't trade up or trade this pick. Tyrese is the most mature, ready, and gives you size when Trae Young is off the court. I like Tyrese for the Hawks at 6. 7, I got Denny. I really thought about this one too because I'm not high on Denny. I'm not low on Denny. It's just the fact that Detroit needs somebody that can do something. Derrick Rose is not going to be here 5 years from now. He's good now. He's going to be gone. He's not. They're not in that playoff mode. People might say, "What about Blake Griffin? What about Blake Griffin?" Blake Griffin is getting paid a lot of money. He's not going to be here in the future. You got Christian Wood. If you lock him up, you still got Thon. You got to decide what you want to do with him. You still need somebody that you can build around or at least give you some upside. Denny can play the 3, the 4, can handle the ball, potentially be scorer, has the work ethic and the knowledge that he needs to eventually become something in the league. And if Blake Griffin doesn't stay, which is a huge possibility, Denny can be a guy that can be around there as you add other pieces to this team, because I don't really see this team being that great in the future. Denny could be a good pillar. Add a couple more young pieces around them. Let them play, let them develop in the East. Maybe you got something special. This was easy for New York. Devin Vassell. People would go crazy if I said that because you would think that they'll try to get upside too. This draft don't have too many guaranteed superstars, but at least Devin gives you 3-point shooting. And that sounds funny, but they don't have enough of that. And he gives you size. He gives you athleticism. He gives you potential upside as a multi-faceted offensive player, but at least he can defend and at least he can space out the floor for Barrett and other guys on this team. That's what they needed for a long time, and I think if Devin is there, they should pick him up. Washington, I still feel like they need a defensive anchor. I like Rui. I like John Wall. I love me some Bill. I like that. I don't like their inside. I like Thomas Bryant potential as a scorer, not defensively. I think Okongwu can be a great anchor for them. Maybe not right away, maybe not the next 2 years, but potentially he has upsides to be a rim protector. Even at the 4, he gives them something that they don't have that they do need. They don't need another forward. They don't need no guards. If they're going to keep this team around, they need somebody that's going to protect the paint. I think Okongwu can do that. Isaac Okoro for Phoenix. They got Devin Booker. They got Ricky Rubio. They got Mikal Bridges. They got DeAndre Ayton. They got Dario Saric and all these guys, Cameron and everything. So, with Kelly Oubre coming back, they need somebody that can defend. And I think Isaac Okoro can give them that. Plus, he has upside. He's not going to be better than Devin Booker. He's not going to replace Devin Booker. But at least he gives you a guy you can throw out there that can defend. And he gives you something that can go further than what they can go with anybody else that's left that has potential to be something. I know people might not like he might have to come off the bench. People might think he has the potential to be a starter. But sometimes where you get drafted can hinder you. It can help you. It can mold you. It can make you give you a chip on your shoulder. But when you in this range, a lot of these teams already have their guys. And Isaac is a guy that if you don't go top 5 or top 7, he's going to be coming off the bench for some team. San Antonio, I got Precious. I think he gives the hustle, the energy. I think he's a big that they need. They've been going small ball with Rudy Gay and all that stuff. LaMarcus Aldridge, we don't know how long he's going to be around in San Antonio. Precious, you got Lonnie. You got Derek White. Not Derek White, but you got Derek. You got DeJounte Murray. You don't need the guards. You don't need the wings, in my personal opinion. And if you do, you just go with Isaac. If not, you go with Precious. You get a big that can do multiple things and have for the energy. Sacramento, I end up going higher for them. I think they should go with Aaron Nesmith. I think he's a good fit for them just because you say, well, they got the shooters. They got Buddy Hield in them already. One of them going to have to go because you can't pay all of them. And then you still got to pay Fox. And then you still have Bagley. So I said, I don't want to give them Precious because they got Bagley, Harry Giles, and all these other bigs. So I said, if they got the bigs, they got the guards, they got to go somewhere. And Aaron is the best player available. That's the only reason why I got them. He can shoot. He's 6'6", got size, bigger and taller than Buddy Hield. Plus, he can be a great bench player at worst. But they got to figure out what they're going to do with their roster in the future. Number 13, I'm going Theo. I think Theo is a sleeper. I said that in my videos a couple months ago. Theo can be a guy that can handle the ball, knock down mid range, could be a threat in the future from three, can play make a little bit in pick and roll, can get to the basket and finish in the future if he develops his skills and his talent. He might be a sneaky pick that can turn out to be a quality player, and I think that they can get a steal if they pick him. I got him going higher like Neesmith. You need the guard that can shoot and defend. And if they can do both and do a little ball handling, that's what you want in the modern day guard. That's why I got them going higher, even if they got to come off the bench to start their career. In Boston, I got Cole Anthony. I know they got all these other guards. They got Jaylen Brown. They got Jason Tatum. They got Gordon Hayward. They got Tice. I know with center, there's no centers that's really necessary at this point. I think the Celtics can trade down if they want something else. We won't complain because our future is already bright. We got Kemba. I think Cole Anthony can come in and give them a little scoring burst off the bench. And I think that that'd be a good role for him, especially coming off the bench for Kemba. He's not going to play a lot of minutes, may not get a lot of opportunity. But hey, you're on a team that can possibly win a title in the future, and you can be a big part of that coming off the bench. I like him better than a lot of point guards we got already because he knows his game, he knows who he is, and he does sometimes give you that space and give you that aggressiveness that you do need, depending on what lineup and what players you're out there with. Other than that, that's my mock draft. Some might be controversial. Some people may not agree with some of my teams and why I pick them. But if you don't have a specific guy you want to go with, get the best guy. If you do have guys you have already, you got to look at their age. You got to look at their skill set. You got to look at the fit. And you got to look at if they're going to come up like Will Beasley and some of these guys that their free agency is coming up. Do you want to move away from them? Do you want to move up in the draft? Or do you just want to start with somebody else and go with a cheaper route and see what happens in the future? And as they become restricted, you can lock them up if they do pan out or you do go in a different direction. Some of these teams already got their stars. Some of these teams don't need a superstar right away. Some of these teams just need a quality player that knows their game, can follow the direction of the coach need them to do, and play their game. And just be a good teammate. So some of these guys I don't really believe is going to have that opportunity to be an all-star right away. I can see it as teams change rosters, that they change coaches. They go with a different identity, a different game plan, different schemes. But like I said, and a lot of people will say in this draft, you might not have a superstar. You might not have a number one pick that you're going crazy over. Some of these guys might not have the highest ceiling of superstar. But hey, they still guys that can play. They can contribute. They have skills that they bring to the table now. And they can help a lot of teams as role players off the bench. Or even if they're on a bad team, they can get a chance to develop even quicker with playing time. But a lot of these teams got their guys already. A lot of these teams got their superstar and their franchise players already. They just need pieces to fit around them, and that's why I got my board looking like this. It's only the top 14 because I only did the lottery. So everybody else, you might have to wait till tomorrow, or I might not even make my top 30. I don't know yet. But this is what I got. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, Analysis Playground. Link in the description comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Also, I got over 1,000 videos, so if you like the draft coverage, you like playoff predictions, you like free agency, trade deadline, you like season previews, you like breakdowns of players, legends, and coaches. Not only that, if you like the NBA, I try to give you a daily fix each and every day. Like the video to show support. Thanks for everybody that liked it already. Share is a small thing I ask you guys. The more people that see it, the more people that like it, the more chance I can grow. That's a small thing you can do to help the channel continue to move forward. If you want merchandise, I got my spread shirt in the description and comment section below. Not only that, I got my Facebook page. You can go there. You can check out the shirts that I have on display. If you like it, change the color of the logo, change the color of the shirt, whatever you want. Message me. I can get it shipped out to you. Other than that, Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis, I'm gone. And let me know who you guys think the number one pick is, what I got right, what I got wrong. I read every comment. And at the end of the day, enjoy yourself. And I'll be back to y'all in another video on Saturday.